Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. A very warm welcome to the 20th meeting of the Champion Evaluators Advanced Toastmasters Club. Today's meeting is a little different and perhaps a little more exciting because the spotlight is entirely on those table topics where thoughts are tested in the moment and words find their way without preparation. As we begin today, I'm reminded of the words of Winston Churchill, who once said, "Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen." And table topics truly demands that courage. The courage to think on your feet, trust your instincts, and speak with clarity in the unexpected. What makes today even more special is that our table topic speakers will also be evaluated, giving us an opportunity not only to speak spontaneously, but also to reflect deeply on how we communicate under pressure. This evening promises quick thinking, creativity, humor, insight, and meaningful learning through every response shared. Before we begin, just a few gentle reminders. Please keep your phone on silent and microphones muted when not speaking. And if possible, keep your video on so we can stay connected and engaged. With that, let us look forward to an evening filled with spontaneity, reflection, and learning. In the absence of our club president, DTM Jyotika Shetty, it is my pleasure to hand over the meeting to our Vice President Education and Toastmasters Day, Toastmaster Darrell Rodrigues. Darrell is a dedicated and dependable leader who has contributed immensely to the Toastmasters fraternity, recently serving as a credential chair for District 230 with great professionalism. Known for his efficiency, supportive nature, and willingness to mentor and guide others, he is also appreciated for being a genuinely warm and helpful human being. With complete confidence that the meeting is in capable hands, I now hand over the proceedings to Toastmaster Darrell Rodrigues. DTM. Over to
Thank
you.
you
Thank
very
you.
much, Sergeant at Arms, distinguished Toastmaster Savita, not just for opening this meeting, but for giving me such a warm introduction. I'm truly humbled. Thank you. Let's give distinguished Toastmaster Savita a huge round of applause.
Thank you.
Many, many years ago, there was this violinist who visited a small town to perform at a concert. People had traveled from nearby cities just to hear him play because he was known to create magic. As the concert began, without a doubt, he mesmerized everybody uh, with the way he played the violin. Every note was flawless, and every movement looked effortless. At the end of the concert, a young boy went to this violinist and said, "I would give up anything to play the violin like you." Now, the violinist was happy, but he replied, "I already did." Now, the boy looked confused, but the violinist continued and said, "The performance that you saw was flawless, but what you haven't seen are the numerous failures, setbacks, challenges that I faced." And I think this beautifully reflects our journey in Toastmasters also. People don't see the mistakes, people don't see the self doubt, and people don't see uh, how uncomfortable we feel. They see the flawless speeches we give, the excellent evaluations that we deliver, or maybe even the perfect roles that we undertake. Today, we are here at this club, Champion Evaluators Toastmasters. Yes, of course, to be champions, but not to be perfect. We are here to become better. Yes, in the skill of evaluation. And so, to each one of you, not just today, but as you move forward in your journey in Toastmasters, I'd ask you to challenge yourself. See how you can become better, not to be perfect, but to be a better version of yourself. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, with the power vested in me as the presiding officer of Champion Evaluators Advanced Toastmasters Club, I hereby declare meeting number 20 open. All right, it gives me immense pleasure to um, welcome each one of you. We are only eight here, but still, each eight of us have showed up at this meeting. So thank you so much for showing up, and I hope that this meeting will be quick, but at the same time, uh, helpful in the long run as Toastmasters. Before we move on to what we are all expected to uh, witness today, just one announcement is that our club elections are around the corner. And so, if you are interested in taking up a role and serving on the club executive committee of Campaign Evaluators Advanced Toastmasters Club for the next program year, please do send in your nomination to our election chair, Distinguished Toastmaster Savita Salian, if you have not done already. On that note, today's meeting is a little different from our usual convention, our usual meetings. Today we have a table topics marathon where each one of you are going to be put on the spot, fortunately or unfortunately. Uh, you will get speak on a topic for for 1 to 2 minutes, and at the end we will also learn how we can better ourselves as table topic speakers through the evaluation that we have. Um, Again, since we are just eight in number, no surprises for guessing that most of us, except if we have a role, do not have a choice but to attempt table topics. Um, I'm going to use our club name, Champion Evaluators Advanced Toastmasters Club, and use this platform to champion our way to become better table topic speakers. On that note, just a highlight that Distinguished Toastmaster Savita Salian is our timer for today. So when you attempt table topics, make sure to pin her video on your screen. The timing rules are known to all of us, but let me reiterate it once more. Um, the timer will show the green card at the end of 1 minute, the yellow card at the end of 1.5 minutes, and the red card at the end of 2 minutes. You need to speak for a minimum of 1 minute and not more than 2 minutes 30 seconds to be qualified for voting. On that note, are we ready? Right, I can see a few nods. We like I mentioned, our table topics section will be evaluated by distinguished Toastmaster Neil. So let's give him a huge round of applause as he steps into the role of evaluating all of us during this segment. So considering there are three of us as role players, I see other five other people. Um, we have Toastmaster Vijay, distinguished Toastmaster Lyra, distinguished Toastmaster Malini, Toastmaster Radhika, and Toastmaster Divya. Um, we'll go in the conventional alphabetical order if that's okay with everyone. So, uh, so we all, get a chance to speak. Or okay, since there are five and you're all going to speak, I can call for volunteers. That's perfectly all right. So we'll go ahead with calling for volunteers. So if you'd like to speak first, now's your time to unmute. All right, distinguished Toastmaster Lyra has volunteered. We also give a 30 seconds in between each evaluation so the evaluator can comfortably make notes as well. All right, distinguished Toastmaster Lyra, can you choose a number from 1 to 5?
3.
3. All right. Distinguished Toastmaster Lyra, what does one need to overcome adversity? What does one need to overcome adversity? Distinguished Toastmaster Lyra.
Good evening, champion evaluators, and in particular, DTM Daryl. So, what do I need to overcome adversity, right? That's the topic. Well, in life, we have quite a few challenges, quite a few hurdles, and we need that confidence in us to overcome such challenges, such adversities in life, because it might be the first time, but we should take it as a challenge. That's like I put my hand up, I raise my hand to go first. Likewise, in everything we do, we have adversities, right? We have to overcome them. Now, for example, I've been elected as the division director for F. I do not know what is in store for me, but I'm sure with the support of my division and the support of my home clubs and everybody, I should be able to overcome this successfully, or not that to my people's, what to say, expectation, but in time, I think I'll be able to do it. Over to you, topic master, to you, Modi.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Lyra. Let's give her a huge round of applause. And well, if you say that you've stepped into adversity by taking up division director, we are more than happy to have you as our division director, and I'm sure that will give you the confidence to overcome that thought of adversity in your mind. So thank you so much for attempting this. We'll maintain 30 seconds of silence for evaluator to make notes. Not
Daryl, that's okay, Daryl. You can continue.
all right. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's now move on to the next volunteer. All right. Divya has raised her hand. Divya, you have 1, 2, 4, or 5.
Let's go 1.
Okay. Toastmaster Divya, the best way to predict the future is to create it. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Toastmaster Divya.
Thank you, Daryl, for that topic. And that seems to be the philosophy of my life. Because if we start looking at life as it is, and we start looking at a culmination of all the challenges that we have, then sometimes also we also get into this way of assuming that if this has happened, so also will this happen. But that is not true, my friends. Because if we are going to gauge our future on the basis of only our past, then it will not help us. Because what I truly believe is your outcomes give you the direction in your life. And life always presents with us various limitations, sometimes challenges. And I see these limitations and challenges as opportunities for us to shape us, to develop us, and to help us to go in the direction to really leverage on our true potential. So if some things are going wrong, you should really look at what are we learning from this? And if something is going right, how can I get better from this? So if I have to predict my future and create it, I will not only create, I will design it. I will design it with every clarity and detail. And if you want to really enjoy the life of your dreams with health, with wealth, and with happiness, don't you think that you need to be the creator of that story? How would that story look like? I remember a friend of mine who kept telling me that everything I do goes to shit, he said. And I said, how do you know? She says, because that's how it is. I said, do you also know that for a diamond to become a diamond, that stone has to go through all of that polishing? So who knows? You have to look through all of that and see what comes out of it. And that day, this gentleman told me that, okay, Divya, I'm going to approach your philosophy. I'm going to stop looking at the nonsense, because I always told him, what you focus on expands. So my friends, simply design the life that you want. So you don't have to predict it. You just have to create it. Thank you. Over to you, Topics Master.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Divya. Huge round of applause for her. Well, after listening to her, I can clearly say she's a designer of words. Thank you. Let's now move on to our next table topic speaker. Who would like to volunteer? All right. I see Vijay has given me the thumbs up. So, Vijay, I'm going to ask you to choose a number from 2, 4, 5, and 6.
5.
5. Okay. Toastmaster Vijay, honesty is not always the best policy. Honesty is not always the best policy. Toastmaster Vijay.
Thank you, table topic master. Honesty is not always the best policy. I just remember in my office experience related to this topic. Actually, we were in transition during the COVID period. COVID period, everything was, we were working from home, and then the technology also started giving a different direction to the technology people. So when you and your team should work from home for the IT sectors, definitely you should have your softwares should be applied, available in cloud. So with this background, when we were approaching to the clients were never have gone through this cloud related applications, and they cannot able to understand what it is. So we are not in a position to tell what it is. And when we go honestly to this concepts, they will not accept. So what we have done is, instead of telling the concepts, we told that what is the outcome of this project, so that they can understand and they can also in align with our philosophy. So what we have done is, when the next pandemic comes, you can start from the day one without any disruption, and the cost also will come down. So we have little bit tweaked from the honesty part, but we have all told that the outcome part. And then today, if you see that uh, more than 90% of the clients are on the cloud-based applications. With this concept, if any Ebola virus and all, today we are talking, if any virus spread, even today we can operate seamlessly from day one onwards. Back to table topic.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vijay, for sharing that. While yes, this table topic obviously questioned what we learned when we were young, I was surprised that you said when the next pandemic happens. I just hope we don't have another pandemic, but thank you for sharing that story with us. All right, distinguished Toastmaster Malini has already unmuted, so I'm going to ask her
I had
next.
raised my hand as well.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay, okay. I missed that.
India has inspired me to stand and talk.
Wow. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Malini. So the numbers for you to choose.
6.
You have it. You can. Oh, okay. She's already chosen. So let me see. Distinguished Toastmaster Malini. Smiles hide silent struggles. Smiles hide silent struggles. Distinguished Toastmaster Malini.
Smiles hide silent struggles might be true in the case of many people and might have been a tragic outcome of smiles hiding tragic lives. But I must say that it is not always necessary to put on the facade when you have a problem to smile and to show that you don't have a problem. Take, for instance, the recent case of 2 dowry deaths. When you look at their pictures, all smiles. Everything is fabulous. And the rest of us would look at them and probably envy their existence because they seem to be happy all the time. Why did they have to hide the ugly struggles of their lives? I feel it's high time we acknowledged that we had problems and we had no reason to smile. And we had every reason to complain. And we had every reason for the whole world to know that things were not all right with us. So I don't have to agree with the idea that smiles hide the ugly sides of life. Now, if you want to be, you have the Johari window that talks about the self that is hidden from others. Yes, every one of us has a self that is hidden from others, and very often all the struggles in life are hidden with a smile. Okay, agreed. You have that hidden self. But I feel that that hidden self should not become so huge that it becomes a zone of discomfort. And when it becomes a zone of discomfort, crack that facade, stop smiling, and show what is the real thing. And from the hidden window, you bring yourself to what we call the open window. What I know about myself, what other people know about me, that's the open self. Let's be open when things get too hard. They say that the tough get tougher, not necessarily with a smile, but with frankness of the toughness in life. Back to you.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Malini. A huge round of applause for her. And she clearly told us how we need to be real when struggles are upon us. So thank you for sharing that, distinguished Toastmaster Malini. All right, we have only two more participants in the room. So Toastmaster Radhika has unmuted, so she's not going to be the unlucky one. She's going to be the person with the choice. And unfortunately, DTM Urmila, you will have the last topic after that, if nobody else joins in, that is. So Toastmaster Radhika, you can choose between 2 and 4.
2.
Toastmaster Radhika, everyone should try living alone at least once. Everyone should try living alone at least once. Toastmaster Radhika.
Good evening, Toastmasters. It's a very interesting but a very important topic to be discussed, because in today's world, when we are in a rush most of the time, especially in bigger cities, the rat race has been there for a very long time. And it gets, and the strain is quite evident when we see youngsters who have to work for hours. If you take the case of the Ernest and Young, what happened to one of the young staff who lost her life due to overwork. Who says we are not alone? In fact, when you are, even when you are among a lot of people, be it your peers in college, there are so many people who feel all alone. They don't feel that they have any support. And that is why you see that many young students taking their own lives. If there are so many who are surprised that this person was such a cheerful person, hiding behind, just like Malini ma'am said, hiding behind smiles. Many people really know the real person, nor do they have the time, nor the inclination. And it is a really sad fact that we engage at a very superficial level when actually we should be trained to be more empathetic and from a young age, and to really not just speak, but to listen with a lot of care and understanding, which I feel is a training which somewhere we are lacking. Instead of probably in schools, again, value education and moral science classes should be given priority, so that people are sensitized, students are sensitized. And I would say, I would say that this is more being alone, spending time alone, meditating, doing yoga, introduced at a very young age. Until you stay alone, you feel very, very strong only when you learn to stay alone and enjoy your own company. Over to you, Dad.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Radhika. Huge round of applause for her. On another note, when I started living alone was when I first moved to Mangalore, and I could, because of that, meet all of you. So I'm happy I got a chance to live alone, and that for the first time, that too in Mangalore. DTM Urmila, you are our last table topic speaker, and you have no choice. You have to unmute, ma'am. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to directly read from the chat. Distinguished Toastmaster Urmila, what you say today can shape someone's tomorrow. What you say today can shape someone's tomorrow. Distinguished Toastmaster Urmila.
Good evening, friends. I would say that words have a great effect. They can make or mar a person. A critical word can throw a person into introversion, self derogation, and therefore mar her life in terms of the way she looks at herself. On the other hand, an encouraging word, which all of us Toastmasters like to think we do with speakers, can make a world of difference to the confidence, commitment of the person concerned. I once, when I was a lecturer in college, there was a girl who was not interested in the work, very always out of it, and so on. But you could see that she had potential. So the first thing I did was to keep her out of class. And then slowly talk to her, bring her back, and set a value for her. The thing is, she felt that she was of no value, and therefore whatever she did didn't matter. And so I started giving her little tasks, little words of encouragement. And perhaps it sounds a bit silly now to think about it, but from the first year to the second year, at the end of the second year, she stood for college president, and in fact became the college president in college, and did a very, very good job of it. Only because she learned to value herself, and maybe part of it rested with the words I used to give her confidence and see herself as somebody valuable. So I dare say words can shape, reshape, and sometimes even undo a person. So I would say a word in time is a word that is of value. Yeah.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Urmila. I'm going to show you this emoji because what I understood, and I'm sure it's clear to everybody, words have power. All right, with that, we have come to the end. I think I'd like to give a huge round of applause to the 6 table topic speakers that we listened to today. Huge round of applause. Um, I'm sure it would have been difficult because table topics is naturally difficult, but you all made it look so comfortable and delivered it with ease. So a huge round of applause for the 6 of you. Can I now request our timer, distinguished Toastmaster Savita, to present the timer's report?
Toastmaster Laila, 1 minute 39 seconds. Divya, 2 minutes 14 seconds. Vijay, 2 minutes 11 seconds. Malini Hebba, 2 minutes 15 seconds. Radhika, 2 minutes 28 seconds. Urmila ma'am, 3 minutes 2 seconds.
Right, thank you, distinguished
Qualified?
Toastmasters. Yes,
No.
unfortunately, Urmila ma'am, you're disqualified
Yeah.
from the
Urmila is
process.
on her mobile, so I think she was not able to see probably.
No, it's okay. That's okay. I generally speak more than I should.
No, very love listening to you, Urmila ma'am. A huge round of applause for our timer, distinguished Toastmaster Savita. For keeping track of time, I'm going to post the voting link in the chat. Take the next 1 minute to cast our votes. Right, I've received 8 out of 9. And can I request distinguished Toastmaster Lyra and Toastmaster Radhika to come on video? Let's click a quick group picture before we jump into the next segment. Right, Radhika, Lyra ma'am, are you there? That's there. All right, yes. Smile, everybody. Yes, thank you. Let's see this. All right, so if attempting table topics was difficult, it is difficult, and I think we have the right platform of evaluating, the opportunity of getting evaluated to understand how we can actually attempt or ace table topics or take our attempt of table topics to the next level. And we have a champion evaluator to do that. Please put your hands together and welcome distinguished Toastmaster Neil, who will evaluate the table topic speakers.
Thank you, Daryl. Once again, good evening to one and all of you. I hope I have enough time. Daryl, let me know how much time do I have.
So on the agenda, it's 15 minutes.
But you
Okay.
can take your time.
No. I'll try to make it as short as I can. So before I go into this individual evaluation, I'd like to show you what all I've written and kept. In fact, each and every word that you spoke, I've noted down. It was tough. Table topic was tough. I think this was even more tougher. But I felt kudos to each one of you. Before I go into the evaluation, I want you to look at yourself and introspect yourself and give me a rating of 1 to 10. How much would you rate yourself about your performance today? Okay, now we have voted, so that doesn't count. This is look at yourself, like you have performed. Like if I give you this topic once again, I'm sure each one of you, you're going to do it a notch above what you've done. You're going to do much better. So just imagine, if you are okay to put it in the chat box, you're most welcome. If not, it's okay. You can just keep it to yourself. So you watch a movie, you give a rating for a movie, right? So similarly here, you have just performed. How much would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? Even if it is 1, it is okay. Now my job is to make you 11. So allow me to do that. It's okay even if it is 10. It's great if it's 10.
You want us to put it on the chat box?
Yeah, if you're comfortable, I will not force you. I just want us to
No, I
understand.
thought we had to say, okay.
As you can see the numbers coming in, and
But you
perhaps
don't change the evaluation, okay? Seeing the on our ratings.
no. I'm here to hold a mirror against you. That's it. I'm only here now. We have a champion here, Daryl, who just made us all proud a couple of weeks ago. And I'm sure each one of us are called to be champions in our own ways, not just in Toastmasters. And we're going to put this, what we have learned, to practice in our day-to-day lives. And that is where I think we really turn out to be champions. Okay, so as you can see, nobody has given a perfect 10, except for I think Divya. 8 out of 10, I think 8. Yeah, 8. Yeah, so we all have a little more that we can do. Yeah, so we agree to this, right? We can all do a little more, and there's a perfect 10 that we all want to. Imagine you get the same topic again, once again, you might score that perfect 10. So what happened in this? In this span of a few seconds, you remember how we started off today's table topic? Daryl, for a second, I thought it was like a contest. The way everyone was so serious, we needn't be so serious. I thought this was we all come here for little leisure. The way you pressurized us, I felt it was like a contest. But we started with adversity. And there was one person who, hands up, hands down, she took the adversity on its face. And then she understood it was adversity. From adversity, we spoke about future. Well, what to speak after adversity? We should have to speak about future. So Divya spoke about future, and then we had to be honest. And that's when Vijay comes and tells us, perhaps honesty. The topic was honesty is not always the best policy, but he spoke honestly. He spoke about his stories. And then Malini ma'am comes up with a smile. And then we had Radhika, who says maybe being alone is a good thing. And finally, Urmila ma'am nails it. That's how we finish it off. Now let's look at one by one. Yeah, let's look at one by one. So let's, the first topic. Kudos to Lyra for taking it. We all doubt on ourselves, but here is one person, even division director or even whatnot, she doesn't doubt. She goes for it. So that itself requires. I mean, we admire you for the way you take things up without knowing what is next. So that's great. Daryl, something what you did here is you did not give the topic and then ask. You asked people and then gave the topic. So in normal table topics, it's first you give the topic and then you ask the person. So here was the we had it the other way around. Anyway, so she started off with well, she took the topic, she had to repeat it twice to sink into the topic, and then she understood, oh, this is too hot to touch, and then she was just beating around the bush. Now, Lyra, if I was in your place, perhaps something I've done is I always look at the four legs. See, table topic. If you look at table has four legs. Have you seen a table with maybe less than four legs? You would see tables with three legs and one legs, but they may not be so stable as a table with four legs. So I put in four key words that I can give for these four legs. Little did I know for my first Toastmasters meeting, they said table topic and they gave me a topic, and I was actually looking where is the table in the table topic. So you need to have four legs for this table topic. The first leg of any table topic that I believe is, by the way, you would not find this in Google or anywhere. This is my own copyright patented content. I mean, just kidding. First leg is the P. The P of any table topic, that is, you have to prepare. You have to prepare. In other words, practice. Now, you can ask me, how do I practice for a table topic? Well, every moment is practicing. You keep thinking about topics, the way you read, the way you write. This is all practice. So when you get a topic, if you're prepared for it, then half job is done. So that is the first P. You have to, even they say it is an impromptu. Daryl, correct me if I'm wrong. You too had things in your mind to speak about before you went on stage. Everybody comes predetermined to an extent. So when you have table topics, you have stories, you have certain things in your mind. The second thing is grab the keyword. So if P stands for prepare, then comes the G. My son's name is P, so I always remember PG like that. So it's easy for me to remember. So P is prepare. G stands for grab the keyword. So grab the keywords. You may not understand the topic fully. So in this case, Daryl said, what does one need to overcome adversity? The key word here is adversity. You cannot speak about what, you cannot speak about one need to. The only word that you can speak about is adversity. That's how you define a keyword. Like, let's say another topic. A friend in need is a friend indeed. The key word here is friend. You talk about friend. So identifying the keyword and grabbing the keyword is a is how we attempt table topic. Here you did the right thing. You grabbed adversity, and then you started speaking about it. Now this is where things get a little messed up, because the third leg, if your table has to stand properly, then the third leg has to be personalized. Nothing gives us more integrity than speaking about ourselves. So if I can bring in my own stories, if I can bring in my own examples, nothing like it. People trust me. People will admire me for what I speak. Some of us did well in that part. Our DTM Lyra spoke about her division director example there. And she in time and she left it to us. In time I'll be able to show it. So that's one thing. So you personalize it. Something we fail, and most often, including me, what we fail is the last leg of the table, the shaky leg, which is never fail to conclude or conclude. That's the last word. So here the topic was what does one need to overcome adversity? I felt the conclusion was very abrupt. So fail to conclude. Never fail to conclude. We should always remember that. What's the point if I say so much and then I don't conclude it well? I need to urge you to believe, convincingly believe in my points. So that's the conclusion part. In contests, we sure have marks for conclusion. But I think even in life, I remember there was an occasion where my wife asked me to buy 10 things from the supermarket and I forgot one thing. And then she asked me, where is that one thing? And then I had to give her a convincing answer, so much so that she doesn't question me back. So conclusion is very important. You can give any examples, you can speak, personalize it, you can do whatever you want, but finally you should let the audience support you in your point of view. And that is conclusion. So this is what I would like to leave with. I hope DTM Lyra, I hope I've answered you, and I hope we'll learn from this. Now let's go to what Divya did. So here comes Divya. Well, the ice was broken by Lyra, so Divya was all prepared, and kudos to her. She stood up. She went a level above the rest. She was all in. I mean, she was prepared. So I could see it from the way, the body language. And something more, if I can tell you, is I'm a hypnotist. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a trained hypnotist. So I know if people are lying. Like if somebody is looking to the left, somebody is looking up, I know the words. But here I saw one person, that was Divya. She was speaking from her heart. And that was so soothing to hear. She spoke about the best way to predict the future is to create it. Some of the words were scripted. I think, Divya, you came prepared on this topic. I do not know. It sounded like you came really prepared. The flow was so soothing for us to listen to. We really loved listening to you. We just wish you did not stop. That's the way it was such flawless flow. The words that you said, it rang a bell in our minds. I will design my future with, and then the way you said three things, with health, with wealth, with happiness, the way you structured it, that was great. The diamond example that you gave, that was great. Something lacking here, perhaps if you spoke a little bit about your stories, like where you manifested something, perhaps that would have been something that we would remember. That's something. But otherwise, nothing more to speak about, Divya. You really have it in you. I learned from you, and I'm sure we are so happy that you're with us. There's so much to learn from the way you do things. And then came Vijay. Again, his topic was honesty is not always the best policy, but he honestly told us what his things were. He spoke about how what he did during COVID days, how he told the customers. And its example was this is what the personalizing. Now that was very good. The only thing, if I can add, and if I were in your place, would be the conclusion part. Perhaps I would have concluded it saying like, this is a topic that I do not agree with, or maybe I urge all of you not to believe in this topic. Honesty is always the best policy. Be it in the next pandemic or anything, you have to add value, and you have to be honest with everyone. So you could have concluded it better. I think you saw the green card and then you wanted to abruptly finish. But the way in which you drafted it, it came right from the heart. I think even if he gave you 5 minutes, you would have spoken. That's the way you spoke. Kudos to you. Good job. Now comes Malini ma'am. Malini ma'am was watching at everyone. She wanted to do something different. She saw Divya stand up and deliver, so she too stood up. But the topic that she got was smiles hide silent struggles, and she started it right on the dot. She said it might be true for many people, but not always necessary. Should it be like that? And then she spoke about like it is okay not to smile, and she brought out that Johari window, the dowry example. So these are all great things. I mean, the way in which she made us all think, that's an art, and we look up to you for that. Again, if I were in your place, I would have spoken a little bit about my own examples. Maybe I had to fake a smile for someone, or maybe there were occasions where I wanted to smile and I could not smile. So, certain struggles about my own is something I felt. Then again, the preparation, good job. The personalization, I felt you were speaking about things around you, but let's look inside, and I think we have more stories to share. Okay, so since time is pressing, I'm going to the other people. Yes, Ratika, yes. Everyone should try being alone and at least once. Now, this is a great topic. This topic, it makes you think. It is slightly confusing because you are confused on what to speak. Should it be uh, living alone, or is there something more to it? Well, she started it well. The way in which she started off with that Eva example, and then who says you are not alone? We should all be trained to be more empathetic. Somewhere, Radhika, correct me if I'm wrong, you lost the plot, right? You were beating around the bush and you were speaking about so many things that was rushing into your mind, and somehow she was struggling to fix a point to conclude. So this happens in table topics. It's not just you, all of us. Even for me, I know even if it is a 7 minute speech, I may not always finish in 7 minutes. So it can happen. That is okay. That is perfectly fine. Diverting from the topic is okay, but finally, when you conclude, I think it is always good to remember the topic. That's where she comes with value education, moral science, and so many things. But I felt the conclusion again fell apart. We should always remember the topic in the end. So it's okay to get diverted, but in the end, we should remember. And finally, we had DTM Urmila. Yes. What you say today can shape someone's tomorrow. Great topic again. A topic that speaks about the power of words. And Urmila ma'am, it clicked you heard this topic and it suddenly clicked in. You knew what to speak. It was very structured. And something I liked about her is she was very slow. She did not rush in. She spoke very slowly so that she knew what she was thinking and what was coming out of her mouth. So that was great. Yes, she exceeded the time. And yes, I am also exceeding the time now. But Urmila ma'am, she spoke about her example, and we all loved hearing two stories like that. Something I want to add here is even in a movie or in a story, characterization is very important. Imagine watching a movie where the hero doesn't have a name, or imagine watching a movie where the place doesn't have a name. How boring it would be. So here, what happened was she spoke about a girl. She spoke about a college. Perhaps those names. Which college was it? You said she was the chairperson there. You were teaching there. Which college was it? Well, certain things would have made the story more interesting, because stories are something that we always remember, and these are things that fill in the blanks, missing elements that actually doesn't feel good when you have stories without the characters being characterized properly. But her quotes, word in time is a word of value. Word can shape, reshape, and undo certain things. The power of words, that was really good. So concluding, I felt, Daryl, I don't know if this was the first time we tried table topics for evaluations. Yes. Okay, maybe that's why the evaluators didn't want to turn up, and those daring table topic commentators came up. The others, I think, they thought this is an evaluators club. Why should I come up for a topic session? But however, I felt this was also a learning experience. We should try the things, because the same routine, if we go in, it might seem boring. Today was one session, I'm sure, at least for the little that we spoke. I felt Daryl and Savita ma'am should also get a topic, but maybe next time we should include you also. For those of us who spoke, I think we go back saying that we did something more and a little more towards our journey of excellence. We are all happy. Like the score that you put in, uh, nobody is in a 1 or a 2. We have all put in 4 or a 5, and the next two, or maybe an 8. The next time you do it, you'll put a little more to it, because now you know that a table topic has 4 legs. The first leg is come prepared. The second leg is grab the keywords. I remember twice I won in the district, and the times if you ask me what was the topic, I do not remember, because you on the stage, when you look at those slides, you barely catch those words, sentences, quotations. You only catch certain words, and really you will end up by speaking something else. So this happened even in crescendo. So grab the keywords, that's the thing. And personalize, always speak from your own experiences. Don't give too much gyan, people are not interested. Speak from your own experiences. And finally conclude. And if I'm doing an election, I speak so much about what I want to do. But finally, if I don't ask you to vote for me, what conclusion does it hold? So always conclude. I hope this is good, and I too enjoyed it. Next time I'll definitely go for a table topic and not evaluation. Yeah, over to you, Darren. Thank you.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Neil. Let's give him a huge round of applause because he has evaluated this segment truly like a champion. Thank you so much, Neil. All right, with that, let me specially thank the the 8 of you for joining in today's meeting. I know it's been, we met last week, but nevertheless, here we are yet again at our second meeting in May. So a special thank you and a huge round of applause to the 8 of you for taking out your time and being here as a part of meeting number 20. I hope that this has challenged you not to shy away from, I mean, I'm sure no one shies away in this, at least because all of you attempted table topics, but this has made you a better table topic speaker.
You said
With
9
that,
and corrected yourself and said 8, but you should stick to 9 because you need to be thanked as well. So it should be 9
thank
of us.
you. Thank you, Mali ma'am. So with that, okay, let me announce the winner for today. Our best table topic speaker is Divya D'Souza. Congratulations, Divya. A huge round of applause. And before we conclude today's meeting, I'd like to open the floor if any of the members would like to share your thoughts. You have a minute or two.
Yes, Dad. I want to
All right, go ahead.
say something. Actually, I just heard from one keynote. If you want to good at evaluation is you should be try more and more on table topics. Both, if you see evaluation and the table topics is impromptu. If you give good evaluation, definitely your speech will get improved because you are seeing the mirror of other person, and your speech also will get better and better by giving good evaluation. For doing good evaluation, you should always get into table topics. So table topic, at least evaluation, we have that structure, sandwich method, and then we have attributes also. Table topics we don't have. So when you master table topics over the period, then your evaluation also will become better and better. I heard in one keynote, I just want to highlight. Back to you, Daryl.
Thank you for sharing that, Vijay. I think that holds true in our case. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm sure members will incorporate that in the future.
I'm
distinguished-
not sure I can be heard.
Yes.
Can I speak?
Yes. Go
Yes.
ahead.
Firstly, I'll say that, like all your meetings, Daryl, there's always a takeaway from it. But before I say anything about that, I would like to say that I'm not sure who gave us the 4 legs of the table. I think Vijay Prabhadevan gave us the 4 legs of the table.
Neil.
Now,
Neil.
Neil gave us the 4 legs of the table.
Neil gave us that as an evaluator of all the
For me.
table topic speakers.
Okay. Now, I just want to know, when you give us a mnemonic like that for 4, it would be better if it was a word, you know, like prep. I mean, PART or something like that, where it's easy to remember. Because now I'm trying to grasp what was the third thing. Preparation.
PG, grab. Preparation, grab, personalize, and conclude.
Yes. So it did not come into a word. It was
Correct. Yeah, to remember. Yes.
Yeah. So a mnemonic is always better if you can give us a word, for it. Even your own name, perhaps. Something like that. That we can remember. My own feeling is that such a table topic session with an evaluation really helps. But I'm not confident. So when I start, I have to think. But I think Malini is one who actually thinks of her life as a story. So each of her, each thing is she's already made stories of whatever has happened. So for a person like that, it is easier. So I would suggest that most of us preparation would be to take our ordinary experiences and try and see whether we can make it into a topic, or an anecdote or something like that. Manli can probably tell us more about how she does it. I remember her telling me this, so that's why I'm expressing it.
All right. Thank you,
I
Urmila
think,
ma'am. Malini ma'am.
Can I say? Oh,
Yes.
continue, ma'am. Continue.
No, because Urmila said I had already told her that. I thought there is a storyteller in each one of us. I think in my case, that's what I told Urmila. The minute something happens, I'm already mentally narrating that incident to somebody. So I don't know whether I have brought myself to that or whether it has been with me unconsciously. I don't really know. Even this noon, I won't get into the details. Somebody said something, and I was already thinking of narrating it to my daughters. They come every evening, they come online. So it was already in my mind. So the minute I saw them, my narration started of what happened in the noon. So any incident that takes place out of the ordinary, slightly out of the ordinary, not extraordinary, but slightly out of the ordinary, I'm already thinking of narrating it to somebody. So that is the
Yes,
storytelling.
that's good. Is good. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Before we move
Yeah.
to Divya,
Yeah. Okay. Continue.
Neil, do you have the mnemonic to share? Or
I
No,
think we can,
it's clear. It's
we can
PG.
use
That's
his
basically.
points and we can take it as a challenge. We remember his points. So each of us can think of a mnemonic
Yes.
now
mnemonic.
as a
Yes.
word.
Yeah.
The
So
four words, how we
basically,
remember
Malini
it.
ma'am, how I put it forward is my son's name is Peter Gonsalves. So that is PG. And then again, Peter. And then he creates, and then the C. So Peter Chaos. That's how I see it. So
So
Peter
that is
Gonsalves,
personal
Peter Chaos.
No, difficult for
That's easy for me.
some people
I know.
to
So
remember.
Urmila is talking about, like we have pegs and
Mnemonic.
all that, no?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
We have those
So,
acronyms as
so
trainers.
there are a lot of table topics like sandwich evaluation, agree, disagree, DJ. That lot of synonyms are there. This is something that I have used it, and I have all found it. People are more interested when I speak about me. So the personalized, grabbing the keyword. You need not repeat the sentence again. You just grab the keyword and conclusion. That's something I have always ensured that I should conclude.
Now, mnemonic aids operate at two levels. One is the personal mnemonic aids, as you mentioned, which I too have tried because I had to introduce one police inspector and I was going through the various places in where he had various posts. For the life of me, when it came to Kunigal, I couldn't remember that name. Kunigal just wouldn't come to me. I was sitting in an Innerville assembly and mentally rehearsing my introduction of him, but Kunigal would always give me a slip. Finally, I told myself, okay, my friend Shamim Kunil, right? I said, okay, the place that I forget is connected to Kunil. So after that, I had no problem with Kunigal. So that was the mnemonic aid I worked out for myself. Urmila is saying general mnemonic aids that can help all of us, which we can offer as an acronym. So, and one point I would like to make about Vijay's speech, I immensely liked the way he dealt with the topic because the topic was honesty is not always the best policy. So the take on that topic was excellent, Vijay, because you said that you couldn't be honest, but you were honest about the outcome but not the process of it. So somewhere along the line you sacrificed honesty, but you still had this idea that you were doing the right thing. So that was a brilliant take on the topic because it's a difficult topic to say yes, honesty is not the best policy, you're not politically right. But to say that yes, honesty is the best policy, then you turn out to be a boring person who agrees with the mundane proverb that comes to us down the edges. So he had a brilliant take there.
Right. Thank you for sharing that, Malini ma'am. Divya, we're all
Yeah.
yours now.
Yeah. So I was just want to tell, I wanted to clarify something to Neil. I'm an NLP practitioner, Neil, and I'm a life coach. So because just to clarify, this is what I always talk about almost day. This is what so that is why the topic was just
It
meant for
comes.
me. And I felt the universe was said because I'm crafting a course for that right now. So it was just perfect. So that's just to
Right.
act.
Sound scripted. Certain parts were so like no, as if you came prepared for the same topic.
No, I believe in
So
it so much that I think it is probably what I talk about all the time. So that was one thing. So and second thing I wanted to share, Daryl, is I just love this concept of doing the table topic thing. I think
Yeah.
we should do more of it. And I think we should do it along like the same structure that we do it for prepared speech. So it'll really also help the evaluators as well. I think this is something, it really was like, I actually couldn't attend this meeting, but I aligned everything possible just because I wanted to, because this was something different. So
Thank you,
please have
Divya.
some
And
more
I
That's
would
things like
like
really
to
this.
add one point to what Divya said. She said this was something that she thought of, and but even otherwise, Divya, as a table topic speaker, is fabulous.
Thank you, ma'am.
Fabulous. Yes.
Comes up and flawless flow.
Yeah.
Always has that.
Correct.
So
Correct.
we have told her that before, and I'm telling her again,
Thank you,
it's
ma'am.
not
Thank you.
necessarily the topic, even otherwise, you have it in you to
Thank
come
you,
up
ma'am.
with
Thank you, ma'am,
something
so
that
much.
is very smooth and effective.
Thank you.
And I came here just to watch, not to be a speaker. And I raised my hand. I didn't prepare a talk. I had my dinner. Just came. Let me see how people are going to perform today. That's it. It's okay. We have to. Even if you don't challenge ourselves to anything, how can we improve? So it doesn't matter,
exactly.
isn't it? Life is a
Right.
journey just of learning, isn't it? Just take it
True,
as
true.
it
Yes.
comes.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Radhika,
Maybe
you.
sometimes we can, then the regular meeting itself, we can squeeze in table topics as well. Because
We
we
run
have
out
only
of
one
Marathon.
time.
speaker. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we can have a small twist than a usual, that panelist, moderator, and all that. And table
Yes, thank
topics
you.
also
Thank you for
is
the.
a quite like thinking on your feet.
No,
Or
Vijay
something.
showed the connection in the sense if we have to go by the vision, because we are champion evaluators, even if you have to go by that vision of being evaluators, the point made by Vijay was pertinent. That he said that being a table topic speaker, in a way, prepares you to be a better evaluator. So, with that in mind, we can always have sessions dedicated to table topics or making it a part of our meeting or whatever.
That is like saying IPL player makes a good test player later on.
Nice, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you all for sharing that. With that, once again, yes,
Also,
okay.
one point here is the table topic can also be like the same topic can go for all. So something we do in our club is
The
we
contest, in the contest. Then you have to take
and
them
then
out of the room,
everybody.
get them into the room.
No, not the contest, not the contest. It's not a contest. It's like a philosophical topic. Let's say change is the only thing that's constant, and then everyone who has not spoken for the meeting gets a chance to speak about that topic. So everybody adds on their own versions of, personalized version of the topic. So everybody
Yes.
gets a chance to speak. So even if it is a champion evaluation session, towards the end, you can have one topic for everyone, the others who have not spoken. So, something to think about.
No,
And
what Lyra
Daryl,
was
the topic.
asking was, what Lyra was asking was, if it is the same topic, do we have to put all in the breakout room and
Yeah.
bring them back one by one?
Yes,
That's
so
what
that
Ma'am,
it's not
that would sound
repetitive.
like a contest. That sounds like a contest,
No,
and I think we don't want to be in the pressure cooker,
need.
right?
No, sorry. It will be repetitive. Certain things we might repeat, right? That's
Correct,
what
correct.
I'm saying.
Yes.
So in this
Yes,
case,
I think we
we
should
might try to
enjoy.
be different. We might try to be different and not repeat when we hear
Yeah.
the other person.
Or we give the rule itself that by default, you're not supposed to repeat anything that somebody has already said.
Yeah, correct.
Correct.
So you're
That
forced
can
to
be
be
done. Yeah.
Then everybody
Top,
would be
it,
happy to be the first speaker.
Oh, yeah, true.
But we can take lots, simple.
I have never.
including table topics is the charm of any Toastmasters meeting. So
Yeah.
even if it is champion evaluators, at least the last 5 minutes dedicate for table topics. Everybody gets
We
just
call
like
it
what
round
we're doing right
robin,
now.
no?
Round
We call it
robin.
round robin,
Robin
and
or
everybody
maybe.
speaks. Yes.
Yeah. But Daryl, give the topic first and then call the person.
But Daryl, may I have one more suggestion? I wasn't there right at the beginning. So
Right.
may I ask whether you gave any guidelines for table topics?
No.
I think that
No,
would
it
be
was
helpful because you usually do your homework on those things. You know exactly how a table topic should be presented, maybe.
Directly we dive.
no. So yeah, we directly
Direct
jump
dive.
into table topics.
When we
Although,
speak.
although I actually had an activity planned, but I forgot about it. So
It's
we
okay.
directly jumped into
It's
into
okay.
table topics.
He
All
takes
right,
this
it's 8.
as the ones
Yes.
who would probably know at least 90%.
Yeah, we have table topics, no, in our meetings, so it's okay.
Right. So yeah, it's 8:41, and as per agenda, we were supposed to conclude at 8:40.
Yes,
But
please
Yeah.
once again, thank you so much for being a part of this meeting. And I hope that today's short, quick session has helped you in your journey of public
course,
speaking,
yeah.
impromptu speaking. Thank you so much once again. And with the power vested in me as the presiding officer, I hereby declare
You're
meeting
doing
number
a
20
great job.
closed.
Daryl.
Let me stop the recording.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.